I'm here with Carl Rabeler, content strategist on the Azure SQL database team.
Yes.
Carl and I have been acquainted for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Carl, you are one of the deepest people technically that I know with the Microsoft stack. You've always been the go-to guy to solve very specific problems around security and configuration and getting services to work together. So tell me about your role in your current position.
I sort of do two things in my current position right now. One is I work with the PMs and devs that write the code for the product to help them document technically what the features are, how the features are used, and help direct them into, do we need tutorials, do we need how-tos, do we need a feature description, do we need a quick start, do we need a tutorial, sort of scope all that out. And when a new feature comes out, it's like not only do you talk about the feature, but it's like you've got other topics, like you get the overview of the whole service, and you may have an overview of security, and you may have this other topic here that has to be updated, and this has to be updated. So I know the whole landscape of all of the products, all the topics related to the product that are out there, and so I know which ones to update, and I push the PMs to do it themselves because they know it better than I do.
For someone who is new to the Microsoft Data Platform, whether it's in the cloud or the box product, or the business intelligence stack, where should they go primarily to find documentation and help for the product?
Well, your question's interesting in the sense of, depends how much their previous knowledge is. For example, the place that I work is all the content on docs.microsoft.com, which is all technical documentation. It's not marketing, it's not necessarily positioning, do I want to buy this product or that product, but it gives you the deep dive into the features and how the features work together.
Yeah, yeah.
But docs.microsoft.com now is a common platform for everything we're publishing.
Great.
All the files behind the scenes are in Git, on GitHub, and anybody in the world can edit the topics that we publish to correct things. If they go, there's a typo, I want to add an example, anybody can do it. It has to be curated by us.
Sure. But
it comes through us, so it's wide open to the public, and that's been really helpful.
You know, one of the things I really appreciate about the way that product documentation is organized is if I just do a web search, I just do a Bing search or a Google search, and I find, let's say I'm looking for help on configuring reporting services or analysis services, and so I find a document. It might take me to an older version, and I find that it's very easy, through a drop-down list or menu to say, okay, well, I'm looking at documentation for the 2012 version of reporting services, but I can drop down a list and go to 2014, 2016, 2017, which is just awesome. It just makes it much easier to find things.
For a lot of topics, we're going to version agnostic. So we will have less pages to maintain, and we can focus on what's more important. Because a lot of our content really isn't, like SQL 12, SQL 14, SQL 16, SQL 17, do we really need 4 doc sets for every topic? No. Now, there may be a new syntax for this or new syntax for that, but the feature content, the conceptual content, is essentially feature agnostic, and we'll say in a topic, if there's some piece of it that's like, oh, this feature's been around for a while, but we added something new in 2017, we'll add that right in there, but it'll be one topic. In the reference content, we're heading toward you being able to have a drop-down list in like your create table statement or create index statement. So I want to see this. I want to see the syntax as it is for 2012, without all the new syntax we've added for 14 or 16.
Oh, great. Okay.
So that's coming, and you're going to be able to go in our examples and have a tabbed list where you go, I want to see this in PowerShell. I want to see it in CLI. I want to see it in T-SQL if that applies.
Nice.
So that's all coming. All this is made possible by we built our own application on top of Git, which is the docs.microsoft.com is a modern application. First time since MSDN was 25 years old.
Well, I love that you guys are always working on this. There are always innovative ideas for improvement. This is a continuum. Obviously, software is always changing, and you're always hard at work on raising the bar a little bit. And I appreciate that as a consumer of documentation and software.
The other thing related to this that we're doing that I'm spending a lot of time on is I'm actually using, as you know, I have a lot of skills in the BI space, and I sort of They atrophied for a little while because I was doing other stuff. particularly as they hired me to do Azure SQL Database, so I wasn't doing that much BI, but now I'm doing BI on the metrics that everything we do in docs.microsoft.com is instrumented. So if I have a video, I can see how many times people started the video, and I can see how many people finished the video. How many people went in a period of time related to a session, and it's a programmable number, but I don't know what it is exactly. I can see if you went and got a free trial on Azure because you looked at one of my topics, and that led to a free trial in some period of time.
Okay, so how does that help you prioritize the work that you're doing and eventually help the consumer?
So let me take it a couple steps further. So it's all being collected in a data store, and I'm developing right now a 13-month rolling, 13-month window to look at our data so we can get seasonality, which we haven't had for a while, unfortunately. And all of this basically says I'm looking at topics, I'm using a weighted average calculation in DAX.
So you are literally using Power BI to do analytical analysis and statistic regression over documentation usage.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Length of time on page, active length of time on page, because just because you're on the page doesn't mean you're actually looking at it. So we know when you stop moving on the page, we'll take that away. I can tell if, back to your search, I can tell when you search and find something, did you find what you wanted? What's our bounce rate? And I can tell from looking at the bounce rate with a little bit of extra work that we don't currently have in our collected system, but I can do it through another system. If I get a topic that's a popular topic, but also has a high bounce rate, I can look at that and go, whoever found that topic, a certain percentage of them, that wasn't what they wanted. So then I got to apply my intelligence to it and go, that's interesting. I can go find what search terms they use in Google, and if it's a popular topic, on non-popular ones you can't get it, but on the popular ones you can get it, and you go, oh, that's what they were searching for. We don't have that topic. That's why they found this one. It's not the one they wanted.
Wow.
I think we got a gap.
Wow.
And then we prioritize it.
And that is impressive that smart people like you are putting so much energy and creativity into making documentation a better experience, being able to get help to use these Microsoft products.
And prioritizing where we spend that time instead of just spending it somewhat randomly. I'm like, I don't know if I should be on this topic or that topic. Right. There's a priority, and we're going to retire some.
Let me ask you a couple of the questions. So I'm in the BI architecture and development space. You and I have worked in that space together in years past before you started specializing in content management. So what do, based on your experience with help content usage, and I know you also have visibility to the activities at the CAT team and support escalations and that kind of thing. So what has that taught you about as a BI architect? I need to make a decision about whether to use an on-premises instance of SQL Server or to use SQL Azure database, or I'm choosing between implementing analysis services, multidimensional or tabular. So based on the interest and popularity of those products, what are you learning? What do these insights tell you?
Number one, spinning up something in the cloud is so quick, so easy.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait, I don't have to budget, I don't have an infrastructure.
Right.
It's like, no, I don't have to do that.
So marketing tells us this, and you believe that message, and I believe that message, but is the instrumentation but behind these searches and the interest from consumers telling you that there's been more uptake in cloud services?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic.
And I can just look at the earnings reports from Microsoft.
That's true. I guess that's a good indicator as well.
And I do see internal numbers as to what our rate of growth is in the whole Azure space. Okay. And it's a challenging field. And Microsoft's like, Amazon and Google are all on the cutting edge, but I think all three companies are making it work, and Microsoft is definitely out there in the lead. And from how I use data and BI, I'm not big enough that I need to have a whole data warehouse, a whole data center. I just need to spin things up quickly. And the other thing I'm definitely still learning is we have so many different tools and capabilities that you got to get the right people with the right knowledge of all we have to put some of this stuff together.
Good. Well, and
so-
I'm glad that you're paying attention and working hard to make that a reality. I appreciate working with you over the years, and I appreciate your ongoing efforts to make the Microsoft Data Platform a continued improved and a better place.
Well, thank you, and I just, whoever's listening to this, I would say, give us feedback, edit pages, make comments on pages, tell us how to improve stuff.
You guys take that seriously, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get reports on questions on Stack Overflow, on Reddit, on comments on pages. If they haven't been responded to in 48 hours, it shows up on the manager's desk.
Okay, fantastic.
So,
Thank you,
yeah.
Carl.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yep.
Take care.